We are operating on a frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. To you who are trained technically, I need hardly say that there's still a number of problems to solve. I guess you know them as well as anybody knows them. But I think we've proceeded far enough to justify the statement, at least, that these technical problems are not insurmountable.
Good evening, everyone. This is Chris and Brett for this week's coach stream. I believe the audio is working. Can you say something, Brett? As we've had audio issues with you. I can't hear you, Brett.
Neither can the stream.
Okay, I can hear you now. Can the stream?
No, they can. No, they can.
I don't know what happened there. So there seems to be some issues with Twitch today, which means it's further behind than normal. Also, I should probably help by putting the right page in view. So we're live at last.
Your mic is terrible for me.
Okay, I'll sort that out a bit. Hi,
It's fine.
We're having all sorts of technical issues. Hi, can't touch this team. It's one of those days where I think Twitch is having the first bad day we've ever seen, so I assume we're doing something wrong. So anyway, welcome. Thank you for coming to watch us. Brett, how's your week been?
Ask me another.
It's been that well. So it's been a good week for me too. For those who are in the likely event are first time viewers, as we already have 7 of you, I assume you've been here before. I'm Chris Phillips, this is Brett Pendragon, and we're your hosts here for the Coach Show. We aim to bring you an update of this week's code events, Keyforge news, metrics, and other stuff coming through. So normally we like to start the session, the week, just going through what we've done to try and show we're still human. However, Brett and I have both had 2 damn awful weeks. The highlight for my week, though, is I finally got to see a live game of Star Trek Attack Wing. Well, I say live, it was in Tabletop Simulator via Twitch, but I got to see Star Trek Attack Wing. For those of you who don't know, it's a different game, which is a Star Trek based version of X-Wing. Wasn't particularly massive, but there's a Nationals event in the UK every year. We got to see the 4 times UK champion take on the US champion, and it was nice just to see the game. I've not seen it because of lack of expo. But anything good happened in your week, Brett?
Got the Christmas tree up.
We were apparently doing that today.
That's.
By the fact it's not there, I assume we haven't.
And honestly, that's pretty much it. It's been a bit of a rough week for us sitting over here.
That's tough to hear, man. But you have got some good news to share with the stream, man. Do you want to go through what this exciting thing you've added to the stream this week?
So this week, I don't know if it's working because I did try it, but let's see. So if you look, you have got channel points and bit points sound alerts. So you can use the channel points you acquire over watching the stream to redeem sounds.
I'll just complain about the judges.
Hey, it's working.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I just got the audio very sporadically, which was a bit weird.
And I've also put bit rewards in. So if you cheer with 50 bits, it will play Baby Shark, and if you cheer with 100 bits, it will scream yeet at us. So have fun with that, guys.
Brilliant. That's awesome to hear. And most importantly, can't touch this team. Great to hear you've got snow. Personally, I hate the stuff.
Fuck you and just snow. When I moved to the south, I was promised there'd be more snow than the north. That was a blatant lie.
Yes. Which crazy person told you that?
My ex-girlfriend, when I moved down here, she was like, yeah, we get loads of snow in Somerset. Sent me pictures of her out in Castle Carey with loads of snow, like snow up to her waist. I was like, awesome. I moved down here, haven't seen snow since.
And how many years have you been down here in the south of England?
Almost 5. I've been down here 5 years on the 14th.
Yeah, I don't think in the last 5 years we've seen significant snow either. I mean, I'm not quite where you are, but I'm still in the south of England.
I love snow. It's so much fun.
I'm not drinking on the job. Right, so Let's get on today. So we have the usual stuff. We're going to jump into the news section now. The news is something what we try and do just to highlight stuff that's happening in the event or outside the event, normally in the Keyforge world. So let's start off with what should be the first one.
So all the news this week is for good causes, apart from the final bit. So this is still in its infancy, but we're going to try and get it done as quickly as possible. We are going to try and run a Keyforge Online Team Events RPG charity event. So what we're going to try and do is essentially do it on the 22nd, where Chris can't do a stream. We are going to run a series of one-shot Keyforge RPG events where people can donate to Gamers versus Cancer to take part, and then you play in the RPG event until you either die or your session ends. So it's going to be a case of all the money is going to go towards fighting cancer, and I thought it was a good thing to just help people have a go at the RPG game, and also raise some money for a brilliant cause. It'll all be done on the stream here. You just sign up, you play your game, and we're also going to look at trying to get donation via stream encounters, so you can donate some money during the stream and have a party encounter a creature based on how much you donate. So if you're next in the queue to play and you want to kill someone off, it's like, here's 50 quid, give them a lull up the Titanic to take out. It's like, cool.
I look forward to watching the replay. It's my wife's birthday, and she made it very clear that I was not allowed to stream on her birthday or the day after, as it will be. So yes, so I really said I can't be here that week, but that will be fun. That does sound like a lot of fun. And for those of you who are worried that we won't have the weekly draw screen, we won't be doing a draw that week because of Christmas. We are going to do the round, which I think is going to be round 5 or the playoffs.
It should be round. Let's see, we're on round 3. We're on round 3 now. Round 4 is the 8th. Round 4 is the 8th, and round 5 will be the 15th. So the 22nd would be still round 5. So round 5 will be 2 weeks.
So we'll have 2 weeks to play round 5 just to fit around Christmas and social commitments, and then on the 29th of December we'll do the playoff draw, which is the day after my birthday. So I'll be a year older, which will be terrifying to everyone, especially me. But no, that sounds great. So 22nd December, keep an eye out.
22nd. If you're interested in playing, let me know. If you're interested in hosting a game, let me know, because we will try and get as many games as we can in. I'm still waiting on my RPG book to arrive, but once my RPG book's arrived and I understand what the hell I'm doing, I'll be setting up a series. I'll be naming each scenario. I'll be making tickets on Eventbrite that can be linked to Gamers vs. Cancer, and then you just buy a ticket for the event you want to take part in. Simple as.
Awesome. So I'm going to transition now to the dull piece of news, but I feel we should say it anyway. Is we have made a slight update to the KOTE directory. This is more around the CKMM site. We now list on here how many games have been played, so you can see if a team has outstanding games this week when you're trying to work out where you stand against them. This is Ivana requested this, and it went in very easily, and then broke everything, which we then fixed again. But the point is, this facility's there. This would be great. Now, as my news item was so small, I'm going to quickly pass on to Brett for the next one.
So, for those of you who have not been on Discord or Facebook, the KPL, Keyforge Premier League, is running a holiday best-of-1 triad with a 75 SAS cap. The entry fee is $10, and those $10 are being backed by various teams such as the Steel City Snufflegators, Team Archimedes, I think Crazy Kill Machine are pointing at, basically every person that enters will be matched by people around there. Also there's no Heart of the Forest. So you sign up, you still win cash prizes, you still win a entry into the KPL Season 2, but the entry fee will be matched by people there who all go towards Doctors Without Borders to help fight COVID on the front lines. It's an amazing event, and I've signed up. I know a lot of other people have signed up. I think they're just under 30. But
wow.
I'd love to see as many people as I can on there. And I've already told Jupiter that in the unlikely event I win, my cash prize would go directly back into the Kitty pool for Doctors Without Borders.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And let's also be clear here: there's still 4 days to sign up for this.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, everyone signs up the night before. So the fact you're on 30 already means I expect there to be at least 70 to 90 people there, if not over 100.
Big Z will be allowing alterations and sign-ups until the 4th, and then it'll start at 4 p.m. GMT, 11 a.m. EST for those in America. And it's a great event, and I would highly recommend it if you want to play. Not tonight's going to be there. I know there's a lot of other people that signed up. Stuart Green's going to be there because if there's a Keyforge event, he's there.
Yeah, apart from this one. Oh, he's on the event, but not on the stream.
Yeah, he's not on the stream now. He's got an event he needs to play, and that's why he's not here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I won't be there, and now I'm not just not attending because I'm rubbish. I'm not attending because Saturdays are tough days with me. But if it was on any other day of the week, I would be able to consider it. I've just got one of those weeks ahead.
Saturdays are usually quite bad for me, but I've done because it's for such a good cause. I've arranged for my wife to look after.
Awesome. So, moving swiftly on to the last piece of news, and I have lost my notes, so let me just re-pull up my notes, is we've had a picture on Facebook about some OP kits. Now, this doesn't sound much of a surprise. We all knew OP existed, but this does show that Fantasy Flight is still giving us some love. Maybe not enough love. Maybe we'll still like to see more, but remember we work in challenging and interesting times. But this is the first time I've seen these pictures. Now, these pictures apparently come from a Canadian store. Dominic Huroff, who's from America, I believe, is the one who posted these. So thank you firstly to him for sharing this. But also thank you to the Canadian store for sharing this and to giving us faith that we're going. I mean, and look at that playmat. I wish I could get a better picture, but we all know what it's going to have on it. And that is awesome.
Dusk Runner, Matt?
What's that, sorry?
Is that a Dusk Runner, Matt?
I think it is, yeah. And it's a Dusk Runner model as well.
Oh.
So, I mean, we don't know if this is just an OP event. We don't know if this is a store
apparently your audio's a bit quiet.
Okay, let's turn it up a little bit then.
Possibly turn me down a little bit as well.
Yeah, I'll turn you down a little bit. Right, so is that better, man? We'll see.
That seems to be a bit better.
Right.
Thank you, Puchu.
Yep, awesome for that. So it's great to see. So we don't know what these are connected to. There are top 4 decks, we think there. There are top 4 mats. I think it's a mixture between an OP kit, possibly a store championship kit. But it's great to see, and I really hope we get them into Europe. I know Brazil have said they're not going to be getting any, so sorry guys. It's me crazy TCG. But I really hope we can get some, and I can completely
possibly turn yourself up a little bit more.
Okay. And I hope to continue my quest to collect all the train trackers, which I think I currently have, including the pre-release ones, the unreleased ones, and the really randomly printed ones. But that's a story we'll do on another day. So, this is the point where normally we start going through the metrics, and so let me just
before that, if you are a new player within the UK, or know any new players within the UK, I have got 10 2-player starter sheet tokens that I need to get rid of. So if you know any new players, want to get tokens, shoot me a DM and we can sort some out, because if you don't take them, they'll be going to my toddler and they will be destroyed.
Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to see, him destroy all these tokens in one quick go. So this is what we have. We have this week's KOTE7 data breakdown. Now, this is from Letops, who's part of the Baguette and Chips team. He's based in France. He's every week is doing some awesome teardowns of what we have, and at week 3 he's hoping to get into some more details to see how this is all going. So let's go through and without delaying, let's get started on these. So first of all, here we see the set house distributions in all sets compared to the global for KOTE7. Now we kind of went through some of this before, but we see the set distributions of what the proportions are versus what the each decks are, and we can see that we have a nice equal ground. We have many more shadows in KOTE. So many more shadows in COTA than we're seeing in our sets. Many more Mars in AOA, and just there are way fewer AOA decks here. Go ahead, man. What you saying?
Now, why would there be so many Mars in the AOA distribution? If only there was some kind of combination of cards in Mars that makes it popular to play?
I can't think. I mean, is this supposed to be similar? Why there are so many Saurians in Worlds Collide, but not CA2A or AOA?
I mean, there's a good reason why there aren't any Saurians in AOA.
And what is that good reason, sir?
They weren't out yet.
That's any excuse. Get a better excuse.
Now, you could have said there were still Saurians in KOTE because they featured in Loot the Bodies, of course.
Of course, yeah. But the thing here is there's no clear match here. We have a very different structure between each of the decks. There's no clear saying there's always this many discs, or always this many logos, or always this many shadows. It's very interesting to see, for me at least, that it's always it's always roughly the same proportion of discs plus logos.
I want to meet the brave people that brought Worlds Collide Brobnar.
Looking at that number, I'm guessing it's 2 decks. Maybe.
Well, no. Yeah, I was going to say we've got over 300. We've got over 300 decks, so a 1% would be 3 decks.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to be good, like 9 decks.
Well, I'm actually going to have a look at this tomorrow. I'm curious. So that's moving on. So what we have here, we sent through this briefly last week, but we'll be giving it again. Is the raw amber is, yes, the average for KOTE7 is 13.1, with CATA obviously higher, AOA not far behind it, and the 2 latest decks slower, because yes, raw amber generation is slightly lower. I actually expected mass mutation to be higher. The CATA and AOA decks have 3 more actions than Worlds Collide and mass mutation decks on average. And the Worlds Collide and mass mutation decks have 2 more creatures and 1 more upgrade than the CATA and AOA decks. And that's fascinating to see how this distribution changed between sets. And as you can see, we all know that there was always more creatures in Worlds Collide, I would say. I know you disagree with that, Brett. But it's the fact that we're seeing more upgrades here, significantly more upgrades in Worlds Collide than we are anything else.
Yeah, Star Alliance brought in a very Tron-based setup.
Yes, they did. You're right. And the artifacts are fairly flat all the way through. Yes, Worlds Collide is slightly lower, but only slightly lower. And again, I would have thought that'd be higher given some of the Saurian's artifacts. The quantity. But
that sort of moves along with the theory that after KOTE, AOA, Worlds Collide, and mass mutation more move towards a board-heavy presence. Yes. With the fact that the creature numbers keep increasing as you go up in the sets.
That is true. Well, they go down again in mass mutation, but only just. But yeah. So back to the cards. So we want to look here at what the most common uncommons are, or the most uncommon. Yeah, the most common uncommons. So unsurprisingly, we have Interdimensional Graft as the most common uncommon card. Now, for the 2.5 people out there who may not know what this is when your opponent forges their next. If the opponent forges a key in their next turn, you get the overflow amber or the leftover amber. And so this is great, is you force your opponent to balloon with a binary rupture, then you play this, then when they forge next turn, you'll get the big pile of amber coming back. And then they repeat the process to you, and they get the big pile of amber coming back. You don't stop the forge, but you do generally find a way of getting extra amber coming through. Nature's Call is only 1 card behind, and it's really fascinating to see how close some of these are. Nature's Call, that is return 3 cards on the field, 3 creatures to your hand, 3 creatures to your hand, or the owner's hand. Yeah. And Lights Out, which is, I'd say, the Shadow's equivalent, which is return 2 enemy creatures to their owner's hand. And then, of course, TMTP. Steal all but 6 of your opponent's amber. Standard card in CATA and AOA. Definitely less common since then, but it was the card everyone had when the bait and switch changed in the CATA.
I mean, you might find that Too Much Protect's a lot less common in mass mutation because it wasn't reprinted in mass mutation.
Okay, Worlds Collide then, but you know my point. But the other ones that are interesting here, I mean, there's lots of good, powerful cards here, and then we get to Gongoozle. Now, I'm not saying Gongoozle doesn't have a place, but I have no idea what that card is.
Gongoozle is deal 3 damage to a creature. If that creature survives, its owner discards a card from their hand.
I don't know, I'm surprised there's 27 of them.
I'm not, though. It's strictly better mind barb, and if you look at the overall theme of the uncommon cards, they're all disruption control cards. Life Ward,
that's true.
Life Ward, Gunguzel, Free Fates, Lights Out. They're all very board control-y, Hysteria and Disrupty. And Mimicry can be whatever the hell you want it to be.
Yeah, and my notes I have here is the top uncommon cards are interesting because they are most likely to be selected by players. So you would pick a deck because it has these cards in. I would actually say the top 4, not the top 3. Also, we have a lot of creatures, and a lot of creatures are artifact removals here. So I'm basically using a lot of creatures and artifact and removals. And it's all fascinating that we have 16 actions, 2 creatures, and 2 artifacts in this list. So that's 16 action cards.
But both of these creatures are very powerful if left on the board. Snudge and the Kronos can swing games if they're left alive for too long.
Completely. But it's more the quantity of actions, so we don't see actions taking a particularly strong position in decks. Yes, they are there, but there's generally not more than 7 or 8, 9.
Oh,
so,
definitely.
Yeah. And the 2 artifacts, Obsidian Forge and Booby Trap. I do love Booby Trap, it's hilarious, but I can never find it amazing. Obsidian Forge, those who can trigger this, it's brilliant, but it's generally there I found as a threat for the opponent to keep an eye on.
It's one of the best key cheats that was introduced in Worlds Collide.
Yep, I'll take that. I'll agree with that.
Because I mean, it's Colosseum is hard to pull off. Triumph is definitely a lot harder to pull off.
One day I will do it.
I've done them both. I've done Colosseum. I've done Triumph. I've done Imperial Forge. I've ticked those ones off my list.
Your bucket list is slightly smaller. Right, and then these are the rare cards. So Neutron Shark, Ultra Graviton. Ultra Graviton's fascinating. Isn't that one of the Gigantics?
Neutron Shark. Neutron Shark.
Isn't this where you should play Shark?
I can't because it's a bit one.
That's a shame.
Ultra Graviton is the Gigantic, but it's one that aids in speed, so it's very likely.
It's a really good one. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the top 10 cards. 60% logos, 30% shadows, and 1% Starlights out the top 10.
Yeah.
Distania is a brilliant choice. That's going to be your anti-Worlds Collide and Mass Mutation archiving. Routine Job, I primarily blame the old guard for this because they brought a deck that's got 4 routine jobs in it.
Well, it's only a sixth of them. It's only 17% of them.
Strange Gizmo. Of course, Captain Joker is going to be one on there.
Yeah. Time Traveler also.
Punctually Uni Kalimba was already a good card, but when you factor into the account that auto encoder exists, it gets even better.
Oh god, yes. Zenzik Logos. I rarely see people building a deck around it, but it's always a nice card to have in your deck.
It's always a good turn 1 play to just go boom. I'll draw 2 cards.
Yeah, it's like Daughter on steroids.
Again, these are all very control-y sort of speed gambit cards. Correspondation's good disruption. Eaton's Jar. I'm surprised that Eaton's Jar isn't higher.
Yeah, but the other thing to point out is there's no Bruckner in here.
But again, we're not going to see much Brobnar in this at all because there's only like nine decks that are. There's only like 30 decks that have
there's
it.
33, but yeah, but it shows you that all the Bruckner decks are very different.
Mm.
And then Screaming Cave. Everyone loves Screaming Cave. This is the one where I think it's discard your hand and shuffle your discard pile into your deck.
Yeah, you shuffle your hand, discard pile back into your deck, and then at the end of your turn, you just redraw.
Yeah, I love playing against people using it because they always get so frustrated that they're so bad at shuffling.
It's a very skill-intensive card, and it actually pops up in one of the interviews in the game today about Screaming Cave being a bit of a bait in some decks. Like you use it to try and get your best cards, and you can often mess up your own strategy.
Yeah, that's and every time I play somewhere, that's what's happened. But maybe that's absurd. So here's some special factors coming up. Some special cards while being fairly rare appear a lot. 16 Tribe Travelers, 22 gigantic creatures. Though why he says 5 Gravitons, 5 Daedalus, and 5 Niflcons, because that's 15. I will have to go back and ask him. But okay. I think it's more like 12 Gravitons looking at the previous slide. 5 James and 5 Niflgods. 6 Dark Amber Vaults. Now, I do appreciate you love your Dark Amber Vault, Brett, as much as anyone else. But across 5 houses...
I've not got a single Dark Amber Vault.
Oh, no, nor have I. I thought you did. But, I mean, this is 6 Vellum and Hide.
Slight issue.
What's that?
The quiz thing we did earlier, it's disappeared.
Awesome. So that's going to be fun.
So we're just going to have to just power through it.
We'll power through it then. So, 6 Vellum and Hide and 6... Is that Oratanu? Is that how you pronounce the last one? Oratanu?
I don't know what that actually is.
Sure.
It's very rare. I don't. Oratanu.
And then we say thrice as many odd claws as even Ivans, so that's 18 to 6. That's got to be chance, not planning, I'm fairly sure. There's way more Kirby Blasters than any others, 13 of 37, and there's 4 Mega Brugners. So Brugner does still get some love, 3 Mega Groaks and 1 Mega Cowfide.
But Mega Groak is still good.
I'd say Mega Cowfide is as well, to be honest, but not as good as Mega Groak, but yeah. 11 Sin decks we have, and nearly all the Sin decks have Greed. But only one has
Otaranu the
Envy.
Chained. It's because he didn't have the full name. Otaranu the Chained.
Otaranu the Chained. That makes sense. And there's only 3 anomalies, 2 Lateral Shifts and 1 Grim Reaper. I still only have 1 anomaly deck.
If that would have been better, we could have made it into like on the 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh,
the 11 deck. That would have been so much better.
9 greed, 8 desire, 7 gluttony, 6 raise, 6 prize, 4 sloths, and 1 envy. Yeah, well, maybe for next week we could.
I'm surprised there's no Time Quakes. Lateral Shifts are good, Grim Reaper's quite strong, but Time Quake is quite good, and Villain Calf, not as much. Again, Memolith. Memolith's quite a good one if you can set it up, but
you got to set it up.
Exactly.
So, as we do every week, we're going to have 6 questions here from the expansion. Now, unfortunately, the thing we set up to run them isn't working, so we're just going to go through it.
Exactly.
So,
let's power through.
Let's start with the SAS average, and if you can keep an eye on the chat, Brett, because I can't.
Am I looking particularly evil with the downward cam?
I don't know. I can't see your cam because I've got PowerPoint.
Chat. Do I look quite evil with the downward cam?
You need a rabbit.
Don't say that. My wife was already upset we got rid of the last rabbits.
Oh.
She perked up at the moment I said rabbit. She's staring at me.
Can I try again? Rabbit. Does she stop responding again? No. Right, let's start with SAS average. Which deck has the highest average SAS? COTA, AOA, Worlds Collide, or Mass Mutation? This is for great prizes such as nothing. But put your answer in the chat, guys. And Brett will tell me when someone's answered and we'll move on.
So, Shipocho has gone with Mass Mutation, which is not a bad answer.
Yeah.
Cantus is coming in with the Worlds Collide and show you that you're not German. 9, ich bin 9 Deutsch.
No, I don't speak German. Yes.
Ich bin Brett, ich bin 22 Jahre alt.
Alright, what do they say?
That's coming in with KOTE. Saurus Tonus is coming in with Worlds Collide.
No one's saying AOA. No one's saying AOA.
She puts coming in with LOL. I've not heard of the set LOL, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite powerful.
Oh, it could well be. As I just said, notification. And the answer is Worlds Collide at 80. And the fact that the average SAS deck for Worlds Collide is 80 is phenomenal. The highest SAS deck I personally own is 79.
I'm loving the fact that KOTE and Mass Mutation got the exact same average.
Yeah, and AOA is, well, not close.
But yeah, Worlds Collide Worlds Collide has got some very powerful high-end ones.
Yeah. So, what about the expected amber average? Who wins? Who has the highest expected amber?
Oh.
So, do you want to summarise briefly, Brett, what the expected amber is? Because you can do it better than I can.
Expected, despite Worlds Collide Bromna, exactly. Can't touch this. So, expected amber is, for the SAS metrics, is if you went through your deck once, how much amber would it generate? So, out of which decks can generate the most amber by going through the deck once? Can't touch this team coming in directly with the Mass Mutation. So Saurus Tonus coming in with KOTE, which are probably, in my opinion, the only two viable answers because Pips were kind of downgraded in the other two. Not Tonight coming in with KOTE. Hello, Mr. Kong. We are just going through a poor man's quiz.
A warm up to
quiz set up.
Yep, and this is a warm up, Andrew, to you and Not Tonight's rematch that we're going to have early next year. And this is not something we've announced, but Brett and I are going to try and run a quiz once per event, probably towards the end of the event. We look forward to Mr. Kong and Not Tonight together fighting it out. And before
Mr. Kong
Not Tonight,
coming in with the KOTE as well.
Wow! And before Not Tonight beats me up, I still have failed to send out the prizes for the last quiz. They are now in my house in envelopes, so we are getting somewhere. And at some point they will be posted, hopefully soon. So apologies.
Just blame it on lockdown.
Well, yeah, actually, that's not so much I'm blaming it. That is the reason I haven't done it, because I've not been going out at all because of lockdown. At least that is the excuse. Right, so the answer to this question is COTA is 25, AOA is 23.6, Worlds Collide is 19.9, and Mass Mutation is 21.7. So I would have guessed Mass Mutation as well, but as Brett rightly points out, in COTA, everything gave you Amber. You play a card, you get Amber.
The average is 25. I'm pretty sure all the decks I brought to our team had more than 25.
Yes, but I also know for a fact the deck I brought didn't. So,
one of the decks that's featured in the featured game has 36 expected Amber.
That's impressive.
It can forge keys, all 3 keys twice.
Jesus. Right, and who has the highest Amber control?
So highest Amber control. Which set has the best?
The highest average Amber control.
Yeah, highest average Amber control. Well, which 2 sets? Because it's a tie, I believe.
You're not supposed to say that, man. We're supposed to leave that as a bit of a surprise.
If I don't say it's a tie, then people are just going to guess 1 set, and then half of them are going to be right. No, they can guess 2 sets, and then they can all be wrong in some way.
It's not AOA. Do you want a hint?
It could possibly be AOA, and I put my glasses on again.
Any answer in the chat?
We got Mass Mutation from Not Tonight, we've got Mass Mutation from Mr. Kong, and we've got Worlds Collide from Sanosaurus.
Okay, we're going to go reveal the answers now. We've got... It's
KOTE coming in from Calcitus.
So, KOTE is 9.8, AOA is 8.8, and Worlds Collide and Mass Mutation are equal on 12.3.
With a last minute, Mr. Kong came in and got both Mass Mutation and Worlds Collide correct.
Well done. Well done.
The only person that got that wrong was Can't Touch This Team, who said KOTE. Which is a fair point with Nerve Blasts and all the other ones.
They've got to be wrong eventually. They're normally right.
Which deck had the highest average? Which set had the highest average efficiency?
Which set is the fastest, as I've got written down here, the best speed? Yeah. Now this is interesting because I can't remember the answer to this one.
We've got Mass Mutation from Saurus, which makes sense because it's got library card, but you have got library access in Mass Mutation. Not in Mass Mutation, in KOTE. Not Tonight coming in Mass Mutation. But you have got Jenka in AOA, and if the majority of decks have been brought that are Jenka, they have some fairly decent speed. So it's a close one. Mr. Kong comes with Mass Mutation. Can't Touch This comes with Mass Mutation. The 4 regulars are all saying Mass Mutation.
Are you ready to go?
It's cornerstone by Mass Mutation.
Alright, I'm gonna
go. Yeah, go for it.
It's Worlds Collide. Mass Mutation was 3rd.
Mass Mutation came in 3rd. Mr. Kong did justify it with the Professor Taranto and the Draw Pips, which does make a lot of sense. But Worlds Collide came in at the fastest. But I gathered that's through the amount of house cheating, especially if you take into account how many Kirby's and Kirby's Blasters were brought.
Oh god, yes. Oh god, yes.
Battle Jericho's and Zizek's daughters. And the amount of archiving.
And I think this also shows you how many Gen cards are from AOA as well. So
12.7 for AOA.
So which deck is the most destructive or the most average destruction?
So yeah, which set has the most active disruption? So that'll be your discards, your bouncing, basically what stops your opponent doing what they want to do. Saurus Santorius coming in with KOTE, which, yeah, Mind Barb, Snudge, Toxin, Imperial Traitor, it could be a lot of luck. Not that coming to KOTE. I'm a big fan of Subtle Auto, especially if you can do what I did, which is borrow a Transformer platform and just go, ha ha, go Auto. Mass Mutation coming in from Mr. Kong.
Are we ready
Worlds
to go?
Collide coming in from Kansas, and we got Ugluk coming in with a Mass Mutation at the end. A new contender.
And the answer is COTA. By
KOTE.
a mile. By an actual mile.
One punch rate equilibrium. That's fair. Punch rate equilibrium is a pain in the butt, especially if you got two.
Oh god, yes. Oh
Control
god,
the weak
yes.
succubus. Pretty much the whole of this was disruption. Ember Imp, Shaffles. Then you got that lovely. Lovely Arise, Shula. Yeah.
I must turn off my notifications.
You've got to love the amount of disruption.
That's terrible, man. That's absolutely terrible. I'm impressed. And the biggest board. Who has the biggest board? Which is the highest average creature power?
Yeah. So which set had the highest average creature power?
Now this is one Brett and I discussed and disagreed with, and he was right as ever. So I'm curious to see what everyone else thinks. If anyone actually agrees with me.
AOA is a good contender here because you've got Lord of the Titanic, but you have got the gigantic creatures, especially seeing as we know that Ultra Graviton was quite a high amount of them were brought, and they average out at 10 power apiece. But Callum's coming in with Water Clyde, Not Tonight's coming in with Water Clyde, Saurus Santonius coming in with Water Clyde, Mr. Kong has dropped in with Water Clyde as well. Everyone is saying Water Clyde, probably because the average amount of creatures was higher.
And everyone was right, apart from me, who said COTA. But Worlds Collide is averaging 80.1 of creature power, which is not that high, but it's still a lot higher than everything else.
AOA coming in last at 60.2.
Or 62.9.
62.9, yeah.
But no. So that's the end of this week's quick interlude quiz. Guys, do you think it's good that we do this quiz? Would you rather we just talk and bore you? Would you rather us get straight onto the games? But we do this to try and engage with you guys, get some fun and games going. Maybe one day when we're rich enough, we could do some prizes. But
Mr. Konga's got a free Gargantuan deck.
How come?
Just because it's in the deck.
Ah, awesome.
Well,
I thought you said free.
Free, yeah. So we have 3 Gargantuans in the deck. What we can do is if we can get the quiz system to update, so we can have these quizzes going weekly, we can do a quiz winner mod. So basically, the person that wins the quiz at the end, every Tuesday, will be given mod status, and then when the next week they have to hold on to their title, or they lose it to the new winner.
That sounds like fun. Let's be trying that out. So
60
awesome.
power each is pretty cool.
Yeah. Right.
But-
so, sorry, man. I didn't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, go. Yeah, I was going to say, so if you have any ideas, if you've got anything you want us to, any ideas on how we can improve, please do drop it in Discord. We're open to any ideas. We are a growing stream, and we do want community feedback. And on that note, we are also taking suggestions for KOTE7 formats in the Discord as well. We've had ones such as chain bidding, for a chain cash for decks. We've had one for triad, which seems a bit hard. And Chris has got a nice one. A variant of like a variant of 5 decks, but we'll go for that on there.
The one thing we will not accept as a suggested option is sealed, as I continually say, I will veto sealed simply because I don't want us to ever run sealed, because sealed are there for the stores to help the stores keep going. As soon as we start running sealed events, never mind how the hell we actually organise it, we take away from the local stores, and that's the last thing I want to do.
The only kind of sealed event we'd have is if your decks in some way had to reference Seal's songs.
Yes, you must have 4 decks. One that has the letter starts with the letter S, one that starts with the letter E, one that starts with the letter A, one that starts with the letter L.
So you've got to have a deck that features like it has a rose in it, or kiss from, or something. Those lines.
Yeah,
And you get a buy. You get a buy in the first round if if one of your deck names just outright has the title of a Seal song in the deck.
So just to be clear, we're not doing that, but that would be hilarious.
We're not doing that yet.
Oh god, we've got to be really desperate for ideas by the time we get back around there. But anyway, so that's thanks. This says thanks to many people, but thanks most of all to Lid Talks from Brilliant and Chips for putting these slides together, and of course thanks to KOTE7 from Dex Keyforge, who's playing in the Old Guard, and he will be on the stream tonight. Is that correct?
The Old Guard, yep, the Old Guard.
KOTE7's in the Old Guard, correct?
Yes, he is.
Good, I remember. Me and Brett.
The captain of the Old Guard.
Me and Brett, well, we just do stuff for fun and say crap. And mostly thank you for everyone else playing Keyforge and playing in this event. It's great to have so many people here. So, I'm now going to switch back to my notes. So, that's the metrics for this week. Apparently, we have no people watching. That's generally depressing.
Yeah, it's a mess up. We've got 11 people watching.
Okay, so we're going to move now on to the weekly stream. Now, just for the one of you watching this who wasn't here last week, this is a recording that's been done. I can't touch this. The guys who are in the chat here have once again done an awesome set of analysis of the decks being played. We have reduced it slightly in length so we can finish today.
No, we haven't touched this one at all.
Oh no, but compared to last week, it's short, is what I'm trying to say.
That's because Can't Touch This had an issue where OBS did not record anything other than one person's voice, so they had to quickly do a second recording for me on Sunday. We had a couple of people that were unavailable for interviews, so it's a lot shorter than last week. It has been edited down, all but the last game, the red game, because that game only took 7 minutes, and I was like, it's not worth editing.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so let's see if I can remember what the magic buttons are.